Hi, I'm Lakshmi Nair. I work as a global capability head for application and offensive security with Entity Data, and also the founder and president of BASIS India, which is a community for women in cybersecurity. Yeah, it's a very interesting question. Thanks for asking that. So every conversation that we get into these days, right? Every client, every stakeholder is asking how you are able to bring in optimization using AI and automation. I think automation is something that we've seen for last few decades, or in fact last one and a half decades. And a lot of this is now moved to the AI space. For example, if I look at something like a cyber operations center, where we used to have people on eyes on glass monitoring for 24 hours. So the way that it is going up to is that we have agentic AI that can reduce your overall cybersecurity operations center L1 support or L2 support overall to a certain percentage, so that you don't really need to have people staring at glasses on all the time. You have an agent looking at the alerts, analyzing it, then also taking actions in terms of pushing the tickets to the right places, and also taking actions or taking autonomous actions based on the intelligence and how that has been trained. So that's the agentic AI is where we see that is one side when it comes to SOC operations. This could also be things like vulnerability management, your patching. All of this becomes more automated using agentic AI with an intelligence brought in there, with agents doing actions all by themselves. Wonderful. So, I mean, this is a problem that has been existing for ages, right? When we started back when in the colleges, so you always see there is a big difference between academia and the industry. So when you get into the industry, then you feel that the way that the industry thinks versus the government thinks and versus the regulators think, there is always a difference. And then that also has a lot of aspects of regional and geopolitical aspects also coming into how organizations are thinking about or security or privacy for that matter. So while the regulations will be driving a lot of actions when it comes to industry, and then eventually how do we push security compliance and security preferences in organizations, what we really see that a lot of these regulations are made in silos, which is not really related to how practically we can implement. But the difference that we have seen in the recent times, right? We have seen all of the most of the regulations. For example, DPDPA Act, and I know that I live in Bangalore, so I know that the Karnataka security policy that came in. So we could see that we have been very actively involved in drafting, giving feedback and refining that from an industry perspective, and there are forums, there are organizations that are coordinating all of these activities together to become the mediator between the government, the private sector, and the experts in the field. So this is a welcome change which I have seen in the last few years. If I compare something that came back in IT Act back in 2018 or even before, and what we are seeing something in DPDPA at this point, there is a huge difference on the collaboration, how it is improving, and this is a very welcome change, and I wish that continues over the time on the implementation aspect as well. DPDPA, no doubt about it. That's how we, I think it's already redefining the way that we are thinking, because we've seen the era of GDPR and other related privacy acts, how that is influencing the way that we think. But it's a welcome change that the regulations that you see here are also taking good practices from the likes of GDPR or the California Privacy Act or the similar acts from the world, while and also adding our own essence and specifics into that, and the way that the act itself is evolving. Because when it was released initially, there were a lot of feedback that was given, and it is a welcome change that these things are being incorporated. And I can very well see that this is actually evolving into something which will really redefine how we look at privacy as a country not just the digital aspect of it, also the physical collection and protection and transfer, all of those aspects. So this is something definitely in the next decade or so, this is going to change how we think of privacy. So, first of all, thank you for organizing this wonderful conference. I can see that a lot of good exhibitors are here, which will make people aware about what kind of work people are doing and how we can collaborate together. So it's a platform where you have the service providers, the products, and then you have the industry experts coming together, and a lot of exchange of ideas happen. And for example, in the speaker launch, I was speaking to one of my co-panelists, right? So that is when I got to know what kind of work that she does in her company, and that actually leading to a conversation that we are planning for for a collaboration with her organization. So I'm sure a lot of these conversations are happening, not just with me. So that again will move the business, or rather the economy, to the next level on how do we know about all the new products and all new services, and also the experiences from the conversations that we are having on the stage. So this is excellent, a platform where we can bring all these together and boost how people think about cybersecurity.